Okay, so we left off, and you're in WWE now. You've got Elegante and...
let me tell you about the first Monday Night Raw.
Perfect.
That was when Alfonso was on.
Yeah, tell me about that.
That was over, I'd say, 1993. It was cold, so it was...
Manhattan Center, that was...
November, yeah, the Manhattan Undertaker was a big deal.
Memento.
Actually, I got heat with all the referees there because Vince likes guys to dress nice and so on and so on, but we don't wear the Zubas, the ones that road words.
They were big into it.
They sold that company.
Really?
And made big money.
Oh, I'm sure. Geez, I didn't realize they were...
The manager,
Paul Ellering, yep.
He was like a real consultant for like Franklin Templeton.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Investment firm.
I didn't realize.
Stocks and all that.
So
he
Paul
has a lot of money
on
the shoot.
Yeah.
You know? Besides doing his medicine there, he did medicine in real life. And it made them all millionaires. So, of course, first Monday Night Raw, it's a big thing. Vince says, hey, this means a lot to the company. We're going to be on every Monday night live and so on and so on. So, I like to, not impress Vince, but I like to
dress the part with professional.
I can, because Vince says, you know, you're representing WWF. So if they stop you at the airport to sign an autograph, sign it. No matter if you're a heel or babyface. So I dressed real nice. I went out and bought a beautiful suit. In fact, I bought the suit from a guy who was voted the best, you know, like the Tampa magazine, the Atlanta magazine, the New York magazine, the New Yorker. There's a magazine called the Atlanta magazine, and they voted this guy the best dressed guy in Atlanta. He owned a chain of hotels. He's a multi-millionaire Arab guy, and he was my size. And he owned dry cleaning companies. He bought a suit and wore it once and dry cleaned it, never wore it again. The kind of money this guy had. So he lied to me because I stayed at one of his hotels year round. And he always bullshit with me, buy me a drink. He had a penthouse. He didn't live there, but he had a whole floor for himself. And he said, hey, Fonzie, I got some nice suits. I'll sell you. I said, yeah, I'm going to buy your suits. They're, you know, designer suits. You know, Money's. I can't afford a $4,000 suit. No, I'm going to give them to you. Don't worry. Just come up and try them on. So we go up to the suite. He opens the thing. There's 300 suits. Wow. He picks about 6 or 7 of them out that he didn't like no more, I guess. So here, try these on. And they fit me to the T like they were tailor-made. So I bought them for like $300 a suit. They're Armani suits, beautiful. I couldn't believe it. I should be so lucky. You know what I mean? It was like a gift from God. I said, wow, thank you. It's good to be nice to everybody, right? So I wore one of those real nice Armani suits to Monday Night Raw, the first taping. I walk in, Vince sees me right away. Hey, Fonzie, you look great. In fact, where are the referees? Hey, Hebner. Hey, this, hey, come over here. You see how Fonzie's dressed? I got a Louis Vuitton bag, Louis Vuitton luggage. I'm dressed, I got a Rolex, a Mariner, not like Ric Flair, the diamond bezel presidential. That's $30,000. Mine was a $1,500 Submariner. But it was a Rolex. And he says, I want you guys to dress just like this from now on. Any major show we have, not a small show, but any major show. So as soon as Vince away, I walked away, and then all the referees, there was 6 or 8 of them. Fonzie, why'd you have to dress like that? You know what I mean? But, you know, no big deal. But WWE was fantastic. So to wind it up, at the end of around 94, right before WrestleMania 10, the wrestling business took a dive. Say it's doing a 10 all year long. And July started going like this. A little bit down, the ratings went down, the revenues went down, everything went down. So Vince was tightening the belt a little bit. You know, he's going to let go of no more spring water for everybody, just regular spring water. No more Fuji spring water, you know.
Was that the time frame he started having legal issues as well? Because it seemed like right about then.
He always had legal issues. Vince had always had legal issues. Remember the steroid case with Hogan testifying?
It seemed like that Hogan steroid case was right around then. I guess a little after that.
So
Yeah.
You know, but we were doing good on Monday night ratings, but it's a new thing. I think in general, I think the whole country was on a downslope economically. It was feasible for Vince to tighten the belt because that's what you do when the economy's going up. How Jones drops down, you know what I mean? So Vince said, Fonzie, I got good news and I got bad news. I said, okay, Vince. He said, the bad news is that I'm going to have to let you go. Because I was one of the last referees that he hired. And the Giant had already left.
Yeah. So
his contract was up. He went back to Argentina, made his $1 million, invested in cattle and stuff. Argentina's the biggest cattle producing country in the world.
Where you get your good steaks from.
The best. Besides Japanese hand rub, beer fed ones, you know. Kobe. So Vince said, I got bad news. You're going to finish up, but I got good news for you. I said, okay, what's better news than I'm getting fired?
Yes, anything's got to be better news than that.
And this is Vince talking to me personally. It's not through a secretary or through J.J. Dillon. You know, that's how usually it's done. Vince doesn't come up to you and say, we're cutting you. But he came up to me because he liked me for some reason. I don't know why, because I took big bumps. And
you're a good guy. You're fair. You're honest, yeah?
Yes. Thank you, Andrew. And he said, I said, well, Vince, could possibly be good news. I'm getting let go. You're terminating me. My contract's out. He said, Fonzie, think positive. He says, the door's always open for you. Anytime we run anywhere near the southern region, we're going to use you. And if business picks back up, which it will, because wrestling goes up and down like this.
Yeah, it does.
We'll hire you back. And I'm giving you a $10,000 severance check.
Wow. Good.
Which is very nice of him because
he didn't have to, but
he didn't have to do that, and he gave me a check for actually $10,000. Boom.
Nice.
Very nice. Thank you, Vince, for that. So I was real happy. So I went home. Plus, I saved my money. Pretty good, pretty frugal. My AD over here. We go to McDonald's, and I want a 99-cent cheeseburger. Want a budget here. Trying to make $1 million video. You know. So I said, if we sell some videos. 1 minute? Okay, we sell some videos, then we're steak and lobster, but until then, it's on the menu, which is only right, you know? So he gave me a $10,000 severance check, and off I went to Odessa, to my home that was paid for to live my life.
Good. Okay.
And then Paul Heyman calls me.
Oh, and I think this is business is about to pick up, as JR would say. We're going to do the ECW chapters next.
What happens then?
All right, so you got your $10,000 check from Vince McMahon, ready to go home. You get a call from Paul, not a Paul from Call. What happens next?
Well, after the severance check, I said, well, what do I do now? But thank God I paid my home off. I put my kid through college. I did this, I did that. Had no bills. I got 10 grand check. I got CDs in the bank. I'm doing okay. I'm going to enjoy my life because I've been on the road 20 years almost at that point without time off, really. So for a couple times I took my daughter to Switzerland. I said, honey, my little girl, I said, for vacation, do you want to go to Zurich or Las Vegas? She said, Zurich. So we went 14 days, Zurich. I see the Rolling Stones doing the Voodoo Tour. Remember the Voodoo Tour? So I didn't take her to the concert. I had her say it was the Prince. I went to the Voodoo Tour, sold out 2 days, same stadium in a row. It's beautiful. So I'm doing stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's some fun. Take some time off.
Yeah.
Day off.
I haven't had much time off, but a month goes by, my phone rings, it's Paul Heyman. Hey, Paulie, hey, brother. I helped him get his job as in the business, so instrumental in getting his job, or his gimmick, or whatever, instrumental, very little bit.
Got him a cell phone?
I was nice to him when he was a young kid with Tombstone trying to get into professional wrestling. Then the next thing you know, he's a big star, and with a cell phone, the suit, Paulie Dangerously, WCW, Bergani, and so on. So Paulie calls me up. He knows what happened to me and Vince. I got released. And I'm sitting at home, I'm driving my tractor, the phone rings, it's Paul Heyman. I say, hey, Paulie. And he says, well, Fonzie, I got this thing in Philly, it's called ECW. I said, what the fuck's an ECW? Because I've never worked an indie show. I've only worked for major markets, Japanese, WCW, Florida, Vince McMahon. So I never had a chance to work small companies. So I said, what's an ECW? He said, it's this little company we ain't got going. It's an underground type thing.
Was he in charge by then, or was it Todd Borden?
He was fully in charge, and Todd Borden, he was the booker, Todd Borden was the owner.
Okay.
And so on. So I got this gimmick there, we're doing this thing, we're trying to get it started, we'd really like you to come up and do something for us. We'll fly you up, we'll give you a couple bucks. I didn't question how much money, nothing, because it was Paul Heyman, a friend of mine. I'm not loaded, but I got a little bit of money, so I said, why not, let me go. So I get up there, I wore the same suit I wore to Monday Night Raw, my first night at Monday Night Raw. I had several different suits, but I chose this one because it was like a good luck suit. So I wore this, I walk in, everybody's in jeans, I got I'm looking pretty good. I walk in, and everybody kind of, 90% of the guys know me a little bit, don't know me personally because there was no stars there.
Yeah,
there was Taz, Tommy Dreamer, Tommy who? Taz who? He was Monkey Boy.
Tasmaniac.
Until he became Taz and then became a superstar of Taz.
Flex machine.
But all these guys, they didn't know my background, nothing. But Paulie had faith in me. And I walk in nice, and they had it where Shane Douglas brought me in to be referee from WWE and to calm down the violence and divide the people that come to the match and stop the violence. Anti-violence, that's what it was.
Did you, what was the relationship? 911, didn't he come out to, was it when there wasn't enough violence? Was there any?
He came out when there was a problem.
Yeah.
And cured the problem with it. He couldn't work. He wasn't a good worker. So the only thing he could do good, because he was a massive guy, he chokeslam everybody. That was his gimmick. He wouldn't take bumps, he wouldn't do nothing, but once you get chokeslam, you're done.
It was over. That means Paul worked those gimmicks right. He used people for those things.
Paul was a genius. He still is today. He's very smart and high IQ, borderline nuts. If we would have had corporate sponsors, our financial assistants, we did 21 pay-per-views with a shoestring budget. It cost $250,000 up front to get a truck there. That's without anything else, without paying the boys, without paying the building, without paying the 250 grand just for the pay-per-view company to come show up. So it was quite a bit of money. So we're a shoestring budget. So Paul Heyman brings me in. He says, fine, we're going to bring you in for about 6 weeks. We shoot these little angles where you stop the violence. The Taipei death match, dipped in blood, tape, glass. The guys fighting, the people want to see it. You stop the match when there's a little bit of blood. Say, hey, you can't see, I'm stopping the match. A little trickle of blood. I mean,
awesome.
You know, the people wanted to hang me.
I'm sure.
I had so much
that
heat,
crowd probably wanted to kill you.
They did, because I was taking their...
taking away their fun.
Right. And they got so built up to where he wanted Paul to 911 to choke slam me. And then that was end upon you. Then I go back to Florida and keep going. But the gimmick got over. He said, well, I choke slam them. They ended up choke slamming me. But the day they choke slammed me, I come back the next week, and Taz has been out with a broken neck. And Bill Alfonso is the only one that called him every day. I called him every day, Daddy. I love Taz, me and Taz. Now I'm his manager with the whistle.
What gave you that idea with the whistle? Because that was a genius.
Paul Heyman.
Really?
Paul Heyman.
I thought it was because like you lose your voice from yelling, or
no, I do lose my voice.
Because I do, and I would love to. I want to steal that someday.
I came in talking pretty good. Now I'm, of course, raspy. That's what I'm excited to talk to you. And I'm talking to the millions and millions of people who bought this DVD. Thank you. The millions of people. Paul Heyman gave me the whistle. He said, "Fonzie,
great idea.
When you come out with Taz, I want you to come out with the orange outfit like Taz wears. That's his colors. With a bow tie like a referee in, a hat,
whistle and a hat,
and a whistle."
It was over. People wanted to ring you up.
Came out that time because Paul Heyman brought a whistle for me. So I came out and I was embarrassed to blow it. I said, I was never manager, so I would blow the whistle. Wee, wee, don't blow louder.
Yeah, you could hear it like on TV. It came over so well. It really did. Everyone knew when Bill Alfonso was on TV.
The next week, when I win, I left my whistle at home on purpose because I didn't like it. Paul Heyman says, "Hey, you dressed up fine. You got your horn thing. It says Taz. You look good. Where's your whistle?" I said, "I left it at home, I think." Yeah, go get my whistle. They went to talk about me. Well, that's your gimmick, buddy. Then I got it. Then they created a monster.
It went over really, really well. So we'll ask you more about the development of your character in ECW. Okay, so we just left off. You're managing Taz. You want to talk about your progression managing Taz and Sabu and RVD and the big three there?
Yeah, it's not Sabu. It's Sabu.
Sabu?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's
He
okay.
would smack me in the back of the head like Meltzer.
Yeah, hey, Meltzer. Give me a good rating on this documentary, Daddy. Don't give me a thumbs down.
I love Meltzer, by the way.
I love Meltzer too. He's doing some interesting shit. So advertise my DVD, please. Not please, but just do it.
There you go.
You know, brother.
Fonzie will tell you what to do. Don't blow his whistle.
That's all, brother. You know, equal rights. What were we talking about? I came in with Taz.
Okay.
I got choked. Finally, I got chokeslammed. The character was developed into an interesting character, like a kind of a cartoon character, kind of like a Bill Alfonso in real life, just amped up about 70%.
Copied his right to censor later on and whatnot, yeah.
Yeah. So the character took off real well, and I managed Taz for about a year, and Taz had tried several different gimmicks, Monkey Boy, Tasmania, this, that, until he became himself. When he came off the broken neck on the shoot, he was really Taz, you know. That's what character got over. Then people started recognizing, wow, this guy's got the it factor.
Yeah.
And they put Fonzie with him, and Fonzie's kind of got the it factor, and they developed each other into something
you
that
help each other well. You had the voice, the excitement, and he had the wrestling skill. And
almost be doing the behind Taz. Hey, come on, Daddy. If people wanted to kill me, I would get behind Taz and poke my head out behind Taz and say, "Hey, Daddy, come on and get me if you can." Hey, this side, come on. You know, it's like the wrestlers.
It was the Spike and Mike, the little dog that was real loud, and the big dog that was he was the big dog to your loud little dog.
It was pretty good. So we got as much as out of me with Taz as Paul Heyman needed, and it was time for me to make a transition and go with somebody that would need and use my help as needed. Because Taz built himself up to be great, didn't need a manager no more. He was really
as a face, he wouldn't as much.
Yeah. So the natural choice would be Sabu, and Paul Heyman was managing Sabu at some time, but he was backstage. He was the producer of the shows. He didn't have time to be on set. He didn't want to be in front of the camera. When he did, it was to take a curtain call and take the people from coming out, stuff like that. So I had Paul Heyman had a lot of pressure on him already. So he said, "Hey, let's put Ponzi with Van Dam and Sabu." So that ended up working out real well. We did the first barely legal pay-per-view, one of 21 that I did at ECW.
Amazing.
That was the first one. And I have a picture of Paul Heyman giving me a check, and he matched Vince's high. He said, "Fonzie, what's the most money you ever made in wrestling?" I said, $5 grand one night. You know, $100 grand for the year, but $5 grand was my biggest night.
Yeah.
And he said, "Vince gave me." I said, "Yeah, Vince, WrestleMania." He says, "That's what I'm going to pay you." And he wrote, boom, and he checked the amount, so it was good.
That was one of the good days.
Those days when the checks amount, we were borrowing money from Peter to pay Paul. And it was okay, but if a check bounced, he'd say, "Okay, put it through again," and it's going through. But those check things, bouncing checks were just, it was kind of true, but it was kind of built it up to be more than it was, because I never, even though maybe 1 or 2 bounced, but he renewed it and did it within days. Everybody's got families.
Well, he didn't have a team of accountants behind him making sure that he had enough.
You know, he didn't do it on purpose. It was, like I said,
a lot of money in and out the door.
We were making, this is a guesstimate, they were making $15 million a year, but we were spending $18 million a year to make the 15. And we put on a good product. but we had no corporate sponsors and so on. It was tough, man. We were like an underground marijuana, a Spanish channel at 3 o'clock in the morning in Boston.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Finally, we got TNN or whatever it was.
Yeah.
We got in contact with them, and we did the pay-per-views, and I was there for 21 pay-per-views. I was there 5 years.
Wow.
And for him to carry me, I made $250 grand in 5 years. That's $50 grand a year.
Yeah. Wow.
Working Fridays, Saturdays, and having fun.
Were you involved in the production end? Because I know
yes.
As a youngster watching,
yes.
there was stuff where, you know, it was clearly in front of the ECW banner. It looked like it might have been in Joey Styles' basement or whatever. Like, can you tell us about that?
Guys, grandmother's house.
Okay.
We did the voiceovers. Still do the voiceovers in the basement. Yeah, one of the camera guys in the basement. We had a setup where we would record. So we were underground club, but we would get picked up. Our demographic was 18 to 35, 97% male. And they wanted to see the hardcore. They never seen anything like that.
Yeah.
The barbed wire matches and the flames and chairs and you know that all progressed.
Oh yeah,
as ECW progressed.
Yeah.
You know, we just didn't one day say, okay, we're gonna do this. We sampled it, and it worked. We did it, took it around, did it, and built it up more and more and more. And we did 21 pay-per-views. They were all successful.
Yeah. Nobody. Most people had grown up, like myself, a lot of people had grown up, and 99% of the wrestling they had ever seen was Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant type stuff, King Kong Bundy, and it was entertainment, but it was very cartoonish violence. It was a different style.
Right.
And then obviously all of a sudden you're flipping the channels late at night and you see New Jack diving off a balcony on top of Bubba Dudley, or Bubba Dudley diving over a top rope.
Loyal fans. Once we had a fan, we had them for life.
Yeah, it was fun. It was interesting because a lot of people like myself at the time frame, it was like a little bit of crack or something. You're addicted to it because once you see New Jack dive off a balcony, or you see somebody go through a flaming table, or you see Taz suplex somebody through the ring, you're gonna look for that every Saturday night and find that show, and you want to see. And sometimes it's not gonna be there, and you're gonna crave it, and you're gonna look. You're gonna watch till 3 in the morning looking for it.
A fan of ours before. We watched this religiously.
I bet you it was a Shane McMahon.
Shane McMahon. He said, I loved you guys, to me personally.
Oh, yeah.
I loved ECW. And then they started doing, he started doing the Van.
The Van Terminator. He did a few,
Yeah, he did, because he was Vince's son. He didn't want special treatment, and he had to go above and beyond, and he did.
Yeah, he
was an athletic type, good body.
He sucked it up, though, yeah.
But he sucked it up and he performed well. He did that for,
Okay, well.
There's no nepotism there.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, he wouldn't have got in.
He owned the company, just face it.
All right, well, let's stop here for a moment, and we'll talk a little bit more ECW and move on from there.